Good with that. We're official, no gavel, can find the gavel. I'll use my hand rule. Welcome. We got an exciting day today. Today is the day of election. Once a year at this club. Before getting that started. We got some rain coming back. That's exciting. My grass is starting to miss the rain. I always think it rains so much here. It does, but then when it doesn't rain, it doesn't rain. It's like you get all or nothing. Just need a little more balance. I'm glad to see a little bit of moisture coming our way here pretty soon. Definitely appreciate the greens in our area. But we got a full agenda today. Thanks to Kim who helped us out, get everything filled today. So let's just start out with a joke. Don, do you have a joke for us today as our joke master?
Yes, I do. I came up with a couple real quick on the fly. So let's start it off. So I was going to tell a joke about construction, but it's still in development. So also, the brain is like an internet browser. 19 tabs are open, 3 are frozen, and the source of the music is unknown. And also, the last one. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Very nice.
Thank you, Don. Those are some good light humor for us to start the day with. Are we gonna do a table topics today, or is that?
It depends on, oh, we were gonna actually do table topics on the roll,
On the roll,
but
okay.
we only have so many.
Only so much. I'll just skip right to the agrarian then, which is well today.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guest. My role as agrarian is to introduce the word of the day and encourage its use by speakers, evaluators, and table topics participants. I will note who uses the word of the day correctly or incorrectly. I will listen to word usage and note any awkward misuse or spectacular use of the English language. We'll also not note words and sounds such as a crutch or pause fillers such as and, well, but, and, by anyone who speaks during the meeting, and I will give my report at the end of it. The word of the day is as follows: surreptitious. Obtained or done by or made by clandestine or stealthy means, or done or made by stealthy means. A sample sentence was, I was very surreptitious in my making of a grilled cheese sandwich at 3 o'clock this morning.
Can you spell that?
Yeah, please.
S-U-R. Yep. R-E-P. T-I-T. I-O-U-S.
Thank you both for that surreptitious word you gave us. Grilled cheese sandwich at 3 a.m. Is that real? That's the real.
Not last night, but the other night.
Good time for that, I suppose. Next, I'd like to introduce our timer. Michelle graciously took on that role last minute.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Greetings, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. As timer, I will find the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green and yellow cards, which will denote specific times remaining. So table topic speakers should limit their remarks to more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you.
Well, next, I'd like to introduce the general evaluator, who is Kim today.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, and no honored guests today that I can tell, and Don and Zoom land over there. As the general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the whole meeting. I will also evaluate the evaluator and call up roles for reports at the end, such as the timer. With that, I will turn it back to you. Thank you.
All right, we have our very first speaker of the day, who's Robin, who actually won a speech contest on this last month, couple months ago, and you're moving forward to the next level, which is district in Silverdale this Saturday. So she's gonna run through that speech again one more time, and she's looking for round robin feedback. So as she giving the speech, just encourage you all to think of anything, any feedback you can give to offer, so she can succeed, maybe take first place at this next speech. So that's our goal for the day. The title is Triggered. Triggered by Robin.
You ever been triggered by something that you've seen, something that you've heard, and your reaction far outweighed the particular instance? I've had quite a few of those in my life. I'd like to start out telling you about one of them. The water organization that I volunteered with started to do projects in India. And I asked myself, if I'm invited, should I go? If I'm invited, should I go? After asking myself about 6 or 8 times, I got this voice screaming in my head, no, and I hate Delhi. Where did that come from? How in the world did I hate the city so much that I had never even been to, at least in this lifetime? Fellow Toastmasters, Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Over the years, I have noticed that these reactions that I would have, these triggers, were an occasion for me to heal reasons that I haven't liked being in the world. And as I do that, things have changed for me. So what I wound up doing in this particular instance, I decided to have 3 weeks of girl time where I was healing the lifetimes that I didn't like being a girl. And I started out, went into meditation. What occurred to me, I saw this little girl being given up for prostitution because her mother couldn't afford to have another girl. And I saw, and I felt that that little girl was me. As I continue to heal, and when I find these triggers, I do things, energetic healing techniques like emotion freedom technique, tapping, and things to be able to clear it. Once I uncover the block, I want to be able to clear it. So I have spent now 10 years healing why I didn't like going there. I didn't want to go to India. It kind of became important because I joined a 3-year certification in Ayurveda, which is the Indian science of life. And every year they would have a week-long training in person. The first 2 years, I didn't want to go. As I would continue to clear things, I got more and more clear. For instance, on the 2nd year, I'm standing in my kitchen, looking at my phone, And I get this wave of jealousy. Because my friends are showing off the clothes that they're buying. And I realize that my wave of jealousy is because one of those poor lifetimes, I was so jealous of the women and the girls that got to wear these beautiful, pretty gowns that I so much adored but could never afford. So through the years, I wound up clearing things. And finally, last year, I was ready to go to India. It was the last year, so I was really excited. In October of 2024, I went to India, and for the 10 days of training before that, I had 2 weeks of contracurrent detox. Now, one of those days, we're supposed to walk and walk all day long to get our bowels moving as part of this cleansing process. So as I'm walking, every time I get to the window of the hall I'm walking, I ask myself, is there anything else I need to clear about India? What came to me is, what if I need to clear the empathic energy that I might have accrued across those 4 and untouchable lifetimes that I had. Empathic energy is energy that we pick up from other people. And since I'm empathic in this lifetime, what are the chances that I also picked up stuff in those lifetimes? And as I started to do my emotional clearing techniques on the empathic stuff, I got the thoughts of my sisters, my mothers, my aunties, and my grandmas. I got to understand why I had this distinct hopelessness that things would ever change for girls and women in India. Because if you're in an untouchable family, you never get to get out of that class. Nothing will ever change. And so as I'm clearing, I wound up finding that I could clear multiple lifetimes, because I had this shirt, which was kind of like a shirt that a peasant would wear. But then I had this scarf that had gold embroidery. When I wore this, then I could clear the lifetimes of richness. And I could clear, I even got, as I was wearing this one, I got the thoughts of the matrons that would take care of the girls that were sold into prostitution. And it came to me as clear as day. They didn't like what they did, but if they stopped doing it, it would be their livelihood that would be gone. So they did it out of survival. And then I would play with the scarf, and I figured out when I put it over my head like this, oh my goodness, I could clear the Catholic lifetimes with this. And then I put it over my head, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to be a woman in a Muslim country, unable to go out of the house without being completely covered. There are so many things that I learned we could clear, we could get lighter by doing this healing, not only from my life, from my genetics, but also this empathic energy that we pick up from other people. And I realized if we clear enough stuff, this could be what helps all of humanity heal and come to a better, cleaner, more equitable world.
Great speech. Appreciate it. Would you like round robin now, or do you want?
What are we doing now?
Okay.
It's fresh.
Okay. Let's go around and do that. We'll start with Kim here. We'll grab my notes.
Oh,
You want to go? Okay. Yeah.
oh,
All right.
and minutes, or just, I don't, that'd be short.
Yeah, I thought we would. Yeah.
thank you, Robin, thank you again for sharing your speech about trigger. I'll name a couple of things I really like. I love the setup overall. I don't know how the room's gonna be set up there, but I assume everything is already there. And I think it's really cool that you start off by kind of knowing your speed. You know, I know you're setting things already for yourself. I mean, there's gonna be there, but I think having a visual understanding, I feel like you have this whole space understanding a little bit, you set up the prompts. I really like that. It got me interested in, if I was new at it, but I haven't heard speak before, it got me engaged in what is she going to do with the space, and we're having all this scholar there. So I really like that. A few things that I noticed, you started a little bit really low to you. And I know it built up time a little bit. I love the questions you got going. And then for the first half of the meeting, I noticed it very much, and then it caught on. And then you started moving, which was really great. You own up to the room with that, and those are what I saw, and then I will pass that over to the next person.
Robin, it's always a new experience hearing this speech from you. Like, you got different points on it. I feel like every time you do the speech, there's different aspects you're really good at, and others you can fall back on. One thing, I'll start with the bad thing you can do. That's why I like it. I think something that would help as far as the competition goes is when you came up here, you were still setting up stuff. And there wasn't a clear line of setup to speech starting. Maybe you can, I'm not sure what that would be, but just have a clear line. Okay, I'm done setting up, I'm transitioning to the start. That's what I consider. And also at the beginning, you did have some hesitations. At first, there was a hesitation, and that's where you were at. I did notice this time there was a lot of we had to I have to I. There was a little bit of quite sure whether you should have an I. Whichever one you choose is fine, but I felt like we're back and forth. Also, and then you had a so in there when you got nervous, and make you realize you hesitated. But you did really good. You explained things well. You drew us in. I like that she mentioned. You draw us in and you explain things. Take us to that place, that experience. Your props really help. Overall, like I said, every time I see it, there's something new and it's good. So it's new things to work with this time. That's all I had. Will, would you like to share something?
Yeah, sure. Oh. So it was really good. That was definitely probably my favorite speech you've given. You definitely moved around a lot more, and you've done this one before. The main thing if I had to criticize anything, is maybe just take a sentence or two to kind of explain a few things. I mean, it's pretty easy to guess what you mean by past lives, but maybe just take a sentence to kind of explain what you believe about past lives. Maybe a little bit more about what it means to kind of clear them. You could kind of pick it up from what you were talking about, and I was never really confused, but it might just be good up front to kind of talk about your belief in past lives a little bit. Just for people who might not know or be aware. But other than that, I thought it was really good.
Do you have anything, Michelle, to offer? However you're comfortable, that's fine. Yeah.
That was beautiful. I loved it. I want to start off with the thing that really just made my spirit just rise, is when you spoke about the generational and the women before you and how you connected to it. It really connected to me because it's something that also I think about a lot, is generational traumas and what it feels like and releasing those, so that made me really excited. One thing that I did notice, and I think this is the one thing I noticed, was the linking. You linked really well when you were speaking about your modalities and the example with empathy, and that why was missing on the first example, that you hit it perfectly on the second one. And the other thing that caught my attention was your voice application in the very beginning. I was busy, and when you amplified your voice, I said, huh? What? So that was great. And then I was locked in from there. So overall, amazing.
Then we want to get
Don?
Don, do you have any feedback for Robin? Help her
Uh,
out for competition this weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can contribute a little bit. I'm having an audio issue, so you guys are kind of breaking up. But I could give you some feedback just basically off the visual. So you're walking around actually extremely engaged, actually engages the audience when you're walking around and the props that you brought up. So I really, really enjoy that because no matter what, that always gets my attention is the physical, like the movements with the arms and walking and props and stuff like that. So I think you did a very good job with that. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear the contents too much of the story to critique any more of that. So for now, that's all I have. So good luck.
Thank everybody for the feedback and we wish Robin well. Hopefully people can make it. You mentioned you're gonna try and join on the group. Right, the next big thing is our election. Once a year, we do our officer election. There's 6 roles we're gonna try and pull today. We're gonna move this on. That'll be good. Anyway, so first time running this for me, so I'm just gonna go along with the process. We'll nominate somebody and then we can go ahead and give any short speech on why you'd like to nominate them. And then we'll go ahead with the voting. It will just be the aye. Hopefully there's no nays. So we'll just start out with president. I'm currently the president, and the role of president is to oversee the club, I suppose, and it's really not that. Anybody want to nominate somebody for president?
Nominate Robin.
I would accept a nomination.
Any speeches on why we should nominate Robin?
Or
do
maybe,
you want
or
me to
maybe
do-
see a few things why you would
I can do a,
want to accept that.
so you can time the, 1 to 2 minutes. Straight. No, just getting myself straight is. Well, if you elect me as president of Meridian Toastmasters, I would be honored to serve in this position. I have not, I've never been the president of Meridian. I've been the sergeant at arms so far. So this will be a new role for me. I will lean a little bit into the experience of the presidents that we've had before, but I love this club, and I remember when Jason, that I believe both of you met at our open house, he talks about how they had to bring the club back 3 members, and he was one of the people who did that. And I came in when they were about maybe 6 or 8 members, and so and then I've seen it grow up to 20, 24, I think maybe is our max, and so I'm really interested in having this club be thriving, where we have enough members that we easily fill all the roles, and people have to get in line to speak. There's a lot of inspiration that comes when you have a really active club, and so I'm looking forward to help grow the club to be a thriving place where we can all go.
Thank you, Robin. So we want to go. That's what it's for.
Well, Why don't we do it that way?
Who wants to vote? Let's say, let's hold a vote for Robin.
Maybe close our eyes and raise our hands.
Close our eyes and raise our hands and
Yeah, I think-
only the president sees who's voting.
Sure, okay. Who votes for Robin? Raise your hand. That's unanimous. So maybe that's what's.
I think normally we might walk out and stuff, but smaller group, yeah.
Well, we might not have a quorum if the.
Yeah.
Yes, as members, we all get to vote, even the officers that are.
All right, next, the Vice President of Education. Currently, it's held by you, Robin. Matt facilitates membership online. and
Learning,
just
the learning
process.
Project.
Anybody want to nominate somebody for that?
I want to nominate that.
I accept the nomination. I'll give a short speech on why. I really enjoy this club. It's really helped me grow a lot. I want to continue to be a part of it. And as the president, I've learned a lot. It's been nice and educational being the president over the last year. So I would like to continue that. And if I'm nominated and I get this, I will do my best in this position to help out and facilitate. I'm pretty comfortable with the computer, online process. I've been through it. And I'm comfortable with helping out any way I can, doing some researching. There's a lot of people here to help out. I feel like I would get at that. If I were. Vice president. Let's hold the vote. Somebody else needs to do the vote running for this one, I assume. You want to do it, Robin?
Sure.
Might be vacating.
I better be vacating the position because I'm not going to do both the president and. All right, so everybody want to close your eyes and raise your hand if you're voting for Justin Bellis as our VP. All right, raise your hands. Okay, unanimous on the yes. Any nays out of the ethers? All right, Justin is our new VP.
Make those notes here. So their secretary. It's our next one. Anybody like to nominate anybody for secretary? We nominate people on here.
They can't accept.
Well, they, unless they have already, did anybody?
I was thinking of nominating Kathy, this, everybody, I could nominate Kathy.
I think she would be.
How does this work if she's not here?
I nominate Michelle too.
Nominate Michelle.
Election.
And I
Which
just,
two accept
what
it?
is the responsibilities of the secretary?
Mostly to take notes, like when we have our officers meeting, taking notes on
Just once a week.
on our. once
Yeah,
a
we
month.
do it monthly, and so she take notes and just participate in it to help us go. I think every member is kind of guide them that. Would you be willing to do that?
Did it for Little League, so.
There you go.
I just want to make sure it's the
Two.
same.
So there's two nominations, right? And then for that, and then well, how do you want to do that? Since, oh, I guess we have a vote for either one. Even though Kathy isn't here, she can.
Well, let's do that. Let's hold a vote.
Oh, well, no, we want to have,
Oh, yeah.
we want to do a minute,
Speech, yes.
you know,
Okay, well, thank you for the nomination. I will be more than happy to be a secretary. Some of my experience, moving my hands a lot, as you see, I'm kind of nervous, but I have experience of being a secretary on a Little League board. I was also secretary on youth football league, so I think I can do this. I think I have the wherewithal, and I will do my best and make sure that I am there at the meetings. That is it.
Sweet. I like your flower, that's great. All right, so let's go ahead and let's vote. Who wants to vote? I'll start with Michelle for Tuesday. Just close our eyes and vote for Michelle first. Who votes for Michelle? All right, Michelle, did you not want to vote for yourself? All right, well, that was unanimous again. Michelle. I guess we won't hold it for Kathy because we can't vote twice, you know? Yes, you can in federal elections over here.
We can vote for. I think she mentioned last week there was a position that she wanted to transition into and mentor for the position in charge of, she would mentor someone, but she mentioned where she wanted.
What was the seventh position? That's nice.
So
I only got the first part.
Yeah.
Where she said she just wanted to get to move out of the position. I only got the first part. I didn't get if she was interested in it or not.
I
She
would
did.
text her. I didn't know she.
Yeah.
Why don't we do next the one that, Kim is willing to do?
We can wait for it. I think he's coming.
Well, yeah, we did keep people.
Well, I'll just go down the line here. The next, I have Sergeant at Arms. Anybody want to nominate somebody for Sergeant at Arms?
I nominate Will.
I was thinking
All right, Will, would you accept the nomination?
I'll accept the nomination.
Great. You want to come up here and speak on that? Former president, Toastmaster.
I think I'd be a good candidate for it. Thursdays I generally have off, so I'm always free to kind of get here and help out. Pretty good at being here on early most days. I think I was, sorry, I don't really know what else I'm responsible for as Sergeant at Arms.
I
But
believe keeping like the meeting space, and if we need a meeting space, coordinating and scheduling, all that.
Oh,
The sergeant at arms is also responsible for arranging for social events beyond the meeting.
okay. And I think I would actually do good at that. In a previous job, I was actually in charge of coordinating, scheduling, and planning all the events for our clients when I worked in a financial firm. So I do have a little bit of experience of planning out events and doing public outreach. So yeah, I think I would be a good candidate if elected. Everybody?
Well. All right, so let's go ahead and vote for Will for Sergeant at Arms. Again, raise your hand. Yeah, votes. Again, unanimous, great. Got some great candidates. Yes. Again, all these roles, everybody shares the responsibility and everybody helps out. Fulfilling out there on your own planning, whatnot. Roles, well, very, very important. I think we all know. Very important by each other. Next, let's move on to the VP membership. Anybody want to nominate some? I'll nominate Kim for VP membership.
I'm not doing a good job.
You're doing a great job.
I think that's a tall sign.
You want to speak to that, Kim?
You're right.
Like, fabulous job, I think.
I accept that. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, current president. The role of the VP of membership is to help the membership process from entry as a guest to sign, to encourage them and follow up on getting membership as part of this. It's really, as most roles, really not an individual roles. I just want to share that a lot of roles are going to be shared. There's going to be help from the law officer. You know, Will, as as the sergeant of arms, for example, you're gonna have, you're not on your own. Same way with in VP of membership and us president. You know, the whole idea is to probably get all the people together and encourage that. So, but speaking for this role, I have held a president role in the past, and also the VP of PR, which is coming up role, doing a lot of social advertising and first outreach, social media, also general. But this particular role I've only held for last year, and I felt like it would be just like Robin was saying, something I wanted to try and build on that core, that leadership of being able to connect with people. And since I did it for a year, as I could tell, I was probably not doing the best job, but that's not on me. I think it's a continuous learning experience. And I thought I'd give it another try and see if we can increase our membership through this process, and I can be that.
Go ahead and hold the vote for Kim as VP membership. Anonymous, this is great. This means you're doing great, Kim. Thank you. All right. And finally, I have the treasurer, and Brandy went ahead and volunteered. We spoke to her already, and she asked for us to nominate her. So I'll nominate her. Anybody else want to nominate somebody else by chance? Or?
I nominate.
Second the nomination.
I nominate Donald.
Don, do you want to be the treasurer? You can. You don't have to pay money from yourself.
I appreciate the nomination, Kim, but I will decline this time. Thank you.
All right, that leaves Brandy. So let's just go ahead and hold the vote since she's not here to speak, but she did share that this is something she's interested in doing. She hasn't done the treasurer before. She's a little reluctant because maybe the workload, but we're a small club. There's really probably not a lot of financial aspects to do, so it'd be good for her. So she did volunteer to do that. Anybody, let's just hold the vote. Unanimous, great. So we have all of our rules filled.
We want to see if Dawn or Kathy has her thing silent, so she's not going to respond. But we could see if Kathy, if you vote for Kathy or Dawn.
Okay. Which ones are we missing? I think we got them on PR.
PR is the only one,
PR, which we don't have one now, right?
right? And it's easier to vote for a club if you have somebody.
Is that public relations?
Yeah. Or we can all, do you want to do that one? Kathy would be probably okay with the secretary if you want to switch.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Let me grab
I
it.
think the person who's a PR person, she's on my show, she's the one who you get sponge and
I
take
like
those
that.
lessons that I've
like
learned.
Awesome.
So let's, want to just hold a vote for Michelle to be the VP of PR. Unanimous. And
We'll just
then
leave secretary there too.
you don't know
Like,
Kathy, so let's go ahead.
vote for it.
Kathy,
And send you the jobs.
whether she likes it or not.
Yep.
And
I think
let's
she's
go ahead.
willing to do something other
Okay.
than.
We want
Been doing that for several years.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good spirit. She takes off. I like Kathy. Good. So let's go ahead and hold a vote for Kathy as secretary, though she's not here to deny it. Fine. Unanimous, awesome. So I will put Kathy in secretary. Thank you, Michelle, for filling that role we've had vacant for a while. Great. Okay, so we got all of our roles filled, all of our election. When does this transition is July 1st, correct?
Yep.
So as of July 1st, have a transition, we'll have a little ceremony with the script and everything that we do coming up July 1st. Some exciting things, and this weekend we have beach contest that Robin is gonna be there. I think we agreed that if people wanna go, the club will sponsor them. I'm not sure. Kathy's our current treasurer, so we'll have to figure that out by year first.
But is that just for participants? I was just going to support.
Yeah, at least, yeah, if you wanna go, participants will get.
For, no, I'm dragging my daughter along, so let's not, I'm making it in.
Okay.
Maybe, but I thought you said you were gonna be on one sheet.
Well, no, we were gonna actually travel
Okay.
up there.
Oh.
I celebrated in
Oh,
spirit.
you gonna do it, you doing it on site then? You signed up for the on-site visit?
Well, now I am.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Good deal. All right, so now, now that that's all finished up, excited to have new officers. It's always good to have different perspectives, different points of view, different roles filled. But again, like I said, everybody helps each other out. That's one thing I really appreciated. I never felt like I was doing it on my own. Always help with the sources. The next thing, I'd like to go ahead and close it out with the general evaluator.
Toastmaster, I think we had a really good meeting. It was spontaneous and we don't do this very often. And the fact that we were able to transition with all the elections, everything was really good. Start at the beginning, we did have a late, well, actually I want to highlight, when I walked in here, kudos to everybody who was here beforehand, having the table set up, everything lined up, all the things were out there, which is amazing. It takes so much stress from my mind when I walk in, because then I could just focus on helping with the tech or Justin, helping Justin set up. So that's amazing. Helping with building out the Toastmaster piece. Yes, the Toastmaster role that needs to go. So I appreciate that. I love that everyone was going to take on roles online there. Don was taking on a role as Joe Master next to be filled in as well. We did start a little bit late, 12:07, 2 minutes later than normal, but that's I'll take a little blame on that because I was still trying to work out the Zoom link and everything. Overall, I love the speech. I think we had a really good overall evaluation. I agree with everyone evaluation review. I got to add in here that I did love the visualizations as well that you had. It to me, just what Don was saying, visual is helpful for me. And see, evaluating Michelle, I love your words you used about video evaluation, generational, beautiful, and linking. And I like that you mentioned about linking the line of of Robin's speech, and I agree with voice amplification that she had. It just grabbed your attention. Justin, you were really focused on Robin when you gave out, which I really appreciate as well. It's really good when you're giving evaluation, kind of speak to that person every time. So I noticed that. Well, kudos for stepping up, because I don't know if you actually have done an I don't know, proper is not the right word, but an official evaluation. So you volunteer, which I think is great, stepping up and doing that. I noticed that as you're stepping up, you start your evaluation before you even got to the lectern. So think about that. That way you could work on that next time. And overall, we got through everything. All the roles got filled, and I thought that was really good for elections. We've never had that for a long time.
Yeah, not for quite a
Not
while.
for quite a while. We were always short a couple, one or two. So I am so happy that we got that filled up. And one comment, Donald. I know I actually talked to Don beforehand. I knew he was gonna, but I nominated you because I thought
Your time,
Oh, yes.
or
Oh.
your.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
Oh.
so once
Was
he's
that-
done, once he's done with
closing the
his
meeting.
evaluation, then he calls on
This
the
is perfect
timer.
transition. Now I get to call on roles and I'll call on timer first, Michelle.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. So I just say the time, so everyone, okay, Robin, for your speech, it was 7 minutes and 54 seconds.
54.
54.
Oh, that's way over.
So, then I just go on. Justin, for your table topics, it was sorry because I was listening to you and I forgot that I needed to do this. So sorry. Will, 1 minute and 3 seconds. Kim, 1 minute and 48 seconds for your whole. I mean, that was it. I didn't do myself. I think it was 26 seconds.
Well done, well done for the first time. You'll get the hang of it. Next, well, man, for Meridian.
All right, so that was a little in and out, but Justin, yeah, you used one use of the word of the day. And I didn't really catch you with any filler words, so good job. Robin, really good. You only had one and you repeated yourself 3 times and clicked your tongue twice. Some words that stood out were triggers are an occasion to heal, wave of jealousy, detox, empathetic energy, and then clearing past lifetimes. Kim, you had an 4 times and you repeated yourself 4 times. And then Michelle, you had 3 ums. And I had plenty.
All right, and with that report, I will turn it over to our president, Justin.
Hey, thank you, everybody. It's exciting that we have new officers. New vision, like I said, it's cool that every role's filled. I'm excited to see what that will bring. Welcome to partake, and I really think it helps us be more, I guess, invested in it. Grow more, I really want to be in the meeting, be a part of it. First, I took on a lot more as president, more speeches, intentional about being more a part versus sitting in the back where I want to be, not being a part, an observer. That's where I like to be. Well, that's great. One thing I want to point out, we do have a new Zoom account. So this is an official Toastmasters Meridian Zoom account. And there is a time code, and Kim and I were working out at the beginning. So please, if anybody has any issues or troubles, let us know so we can get that fixed. I thought I had it all set up, and then I went to log in and it didn't work. And thankfully Kim got that squared away, mostly before today. And then we did find a small snag right before the meeting that we got squared away. Any issues with that, please let us know. We'll get it squared away. Should be good for 1 year and recurring, so the membership shouldn't expire as far as a subscription. So it should never be a subscription issue. That looks like we're about at time, so I appreciate everybody. Again, we came together, everything worked out, the roles were filled. Like I frequently mentioned, it's really great to see everybody pull together at this club. Fill in the different roles wherever it's needed, whether it's set up, tech, tables, always great. I feel like leadership officers, that always happens as well. Somebody's not here, somebody's doing this, we all pitch in and help out, so it's great. With that, I'm looking forward to the next season. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
All right,
Thanks
then
for joining
anybody,
on Zoom, Don.
Thank you.
anybody who want to take a role, I will
Oh,
write
we
it
can-
down and.
Oh yeah, if anybody wants to do a role next week, I spaced that part.
I can take general evaluator.
I have a speech. I'll probably do the speech remotely because it's going to be a presentation. I need 2 screens.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna get a.
She'll be gone. Usually have to check my schedule.
What about you, Don? Gonna be able to make it next week?
Yeah, I need to check my schedule first before I commit to anything, so.
Okay,
I'll keep an eye out and see what I can. I'll fill in.
okay,
I can evaluate Cam, right from down,
okay.
should be. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for filling the roles and being here today. See you next week.
See you guys.
So